Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
We can just start the last session, which is usually I call it final thoughts, okay? So in the final thoughts we want to talk about is, what can I do with this book? So one of the other activity we talked about today was the keynote or the speaking engagement. That's right. So if I have a speaking engagement, how much money on the average a speaker will charge?
Well, you said 2 to 10,000 or something.
Let's pick up $5,000.
Yeah.
That's right. So if you have a venue or somebody who does not afford $5,000, what you do?
You offer a workshop where you charge people. So you funnel them.
Or what I can offer them, I can offer them to buy my book. For sake of the example here, my book will be around $20 or $25.
So you could offer what, sorry?
So if I have my book
Yeah.
at $25 or $20,
Yeah.
and somebody is coming and they have a venue of 250 individuals,
Yeah.
and I cannot put my charges down, I will charge $5,000.
Right.
And they say we don't afford that. What can I do?
You say you can sell them your book for $20.
I will tell them, you know what? Instead of you paying me the money, guys, I will come talk for free. In exchange that each one of your guests will buy my book at its full rate.
So that means they would build that into their admission
So
policy.
if I have 250 people
Yeah.
buying my book at $20,
Okay.
it's equivalent to $5,000.
Yeah.
How much will it cost me to print and ship $250 and the 50 books?
1,000.
It's about $3 to $4. So if we use the $4, so my cost is $4 per book.
Per book, yeah.
So how much revenue I make? 4,000. What's the alternative for these guys, because they cannot afford me? Is to ditch me. They don't get me. So I will lose what? Would you rather lose $1,000 or 5,000? And you still be positioned as the speaker who takes what?
5,000.
And they will acknowledge that you came to talk for free.
But you'll also become closer to a bestseller or something if you have a series.
All of these are extra cream and sprinkles on the cake. So if you have a book, like I do have 2 books. I have Define Your Win and The Guide to Win. Define Your Win, you saw the book, it has just messages on every page. It's a very personalized business card. I give it out to some venues. When I go to universities and colleges, I give it to people to drive their perception what's win means. Because win does not mean winning as a verb. Win can be woman in need, woman in nuclear, what's important now, which is the most important things. If you know when means what's important now, you can judge for yourself. It's important for you to be here today, or it's important for you to be with a customer. What's important?
It's important for me to be here today.
Okay? So if you understand the word when, what's important for me, which is a concept I teach to law enforcement, and I teach it to people in combat. Is important now to shoot and kill the enemy, or to only harm them because you don't have high risk? So what's important now is a very important concept. They teach it in a very different situations, but we never understand it. So my book, Define Your Win, it goes along these definitions. It grabs people from a standard concept of win, so he will show us how to win. No, I'm showing you how to define what's in it for you, what's important for you. When you understand the woman in need, you appreciate diversity. That's right. And if you are a woman, you will appreciate the self-worth and the importance of you, because the other word saying woman in need. When you understand the woman in nuclear means what? Woman in a very weird place. You understand that you will be in a very weird situations in your life, And you have to accept that because life is not fair. Fair is once a year comes to town. It has a big roller coaster with Mary Poppins on it and keep going up and down, up and down. This is what the definition of fair. Life is not fair. This is the definition of fair. Do you agree?
Okay.
So this book for me is my business card. If I go to specific venues, I will have as many as they have and just go away and give it. So one requirement for this book is to have what? To have my face on the book. Why do you need to have your face on your books, on your business books? Because people need to see you so they can trust you. The more rapport you build with the audience, does it make sense to you now?
Yeah.
Before this message, will you accept to have your face on the book? Most likely not. You say it doesn't make sense. So that's why my face is centered and the front page on any business book I do. Lab on a cheap system, on cheap books, I didn't have my face at all in the book because these were technical books. But my business books will have my face on the front. It has a piece of my body too. Why? Because I want to build a relationship. I want to be the ignorant recognize me. It creates a little bit of vulnerability here because not all cultures, not all of us likes to be noticed when we are. This is the rules. You want to apply it, apply it. You don't want to apply it, nothing wrong. You know the rule and you break it. Okay? I'm not here to judge you for anybody. I'm here just to show you some best practices where people get. So John Maxwell does John Maxwell photo on all of his books?
No. Well, not on the front. Not on all of his books.
Most likely on the back he has.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? So when we want to build our businesses early on, we may elect to have our photos there or not. It's up to you. I'm not. However, there is a trend going in the market. So do you understand now how you can position your book again? A third strategy to use your book. You want to build a relationship with the CEO of companies because you talk about change management, right? Who will be caring about change management?
Yes, you're the company first.
So how you use your book? So what about Christmas time? What you send to the CEO which you don't know? What about you send just a complimentary copy to the CEO of the... I told you I will share with you a system where you have 20 books for $67. If you add on the top of it $2-3 for shipping, you talk about $100. So if you have a 20 copies which cost you $5 delivered, will you be able to send these copies to the CEO or the higher management of 20 companies? Will this give you a permission to make a phone call 1 week, 2 weeks later to ask what they read about their book and if they like you or not? Will this give you a permission to call and say, I send you my book, would you mind if I come discuss the concept here because I feel your background and you can put me more thoughts about writing the second edition of the book? Does this allow you to do this or not? Does this allow you to knock doors that are not even accessible to you before?
Yes.
Yes, in some contests, that's right. In some contests, yes. For some others, you have the connections, you can build it. I'm not. So what we say here is having books which talk about your programs, you can have it as a lead to open doors which cannot be accessible without the books. Do you believe these people having time to read your books?
Probably not, but if there's interest, if it piques their curiosity, they will.
But do you need them to read the book?
No.
I don't need them to read the book. What I need them to see, my face on the first page of the book.
Yeah.
That's it.
They might be relieved
That's all.
to know that you can come for an hour, summarize the book for them so they don't have to read it.
Ah.
You see, this gentleman used to be a VP. He's a formal VP for a big
I
utility.
totally would. Like if I saw the title, it was, wow, I don't have time to read this. Somebody says, hey, come, let me tell you the summary of the book. Boom, there it is.
And the more much
Read a book in an hour.
and the more much better you can say, Would you allow me to speak for free on the Brown lunch event,
Yeah,
or
that would be after your conversation.
even not after the conversation? You may say, you know what, you got my book, and I believe you have a value in it. I'm looking forward to talk to different people to see their feedback on the book. Would you mind just if I come and talk on your brown lunch bag?
If that happened to me, like I was an executive, I would give it to one of my lackeys. Go read this. Tell me if it's worthwhile bringing this guy in. That's what I would do.
But is much better than nobody knows you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like remember, we talked about the processing machine, and the kitchen aid machine is replacement for what? For my hand cutting the food. That's right. It's not the knife, it's not the knife bar, it's not the blender. The food processor is replacement for my hand. So my book is the food processor thing. And me sitting here, nobody knows about me. And I'm trying to find creative marketing approach, which is me cutting the hand. When we pick up these examples in our workshops, we pick them for a reason. To show you that there are ways to do things in your own way, but there are more effective way. How much will it cost you to write a book? If you have the time, my friends, it will cost you $67. Because if you before we talk about the $67,
I'm waiting for this to say.
before we talk about the $67 cost to write to publish a book, I wanna answer one question. Did you hear about self-publishing books? Like people become self-publisher,
Yeah.
or using a publisher. For your business book, what you need to have, what you should have. Should you have a publisher, or you publish yourself?
For a
And
business
why?
book, you have to have a publisher, right?
Sorry?
Wouldn't you have a publisher for that? You need to have a publisher for a business book, right?
You said, well, I mean, I've heard you say self-publish.
So what will happen when you have a publisher? The publisher will own the rights to your book.
Well, that sucks.
Okay? No matter what kind of agreement, because there is lots of implicit common law rights, like right of presence and right of reproducing and all kind of things, you know. So if you wanna use images from your book and figures from your book in your program, we are not here to write books, that's right. We are here to sell what?
Program.
Programs, that's right. So what will happen for the figures and the images inside your book?
You won't own them if the publisher does.
The publisher will have some royalty on it.
Oh, royalties.
That's right. So are you willing to pay him back more?
No.
The publishers who publish your book and get and you pay them $50,000 to publish your book, they will get royalty of $2 per book after the first 2,000 copies.
The author will get $2.
No, they will. Like a self-publishing support publisher will usually have royalty on every single print you do. Moreover, if you become successful and you want to go to Australia and different places, would you rather having the book printed over there so you don't ship them by airline or not?
Yeah.
So I can stand here and say 20 points why you don't need to have a publisher. To make it simple for you guys, self-publishing is the only way where you have a better control and better on the content and better control everything.
So would a VP or a CEO open up a book that is self-published?
If the book is attractive enough, what's wrong?
I don't know. I'm just saying this from a.
And when we publish our books, we use our company to be the publisher of the book. That's right?
So it looks like it's a bona fide publisher or something.
Yeah. Okay?
Plus, we're not in the business to sell our books, right?
We are not. We are in the business of selling our program.
Cheapest to market, too.
Okay? So a publisher will request that you print thousands copy. Self-publishing over Amazon or other platforms is called print on demand. Is it good or bad? Is it awful?
Very good.
Because every book may have different color template and maybe colors. Every book might be shifted a little bit. So to do print on demand effectively, you need to let go from so many things. One of them is to have a very colorful cover. because the colors will not come the same. They print at the available print house they have, and they do have so many around the nation in North America. So we even had one book which we had like 200 copies of it. 100 came from a place, 40 came from a place, and 60 came from a place. So if you put the 200 versions beside each other, there is a changes. They are not serious defects because each one will see only one copy, but when you try to compare on the different runs, and some of you here comment about different runs which have a little bit of, so all of this they provide one point. When you design your book, you need to stand by the basics color. You need to stand by specifics. You need to make enough margins. You need to do few things so the different runs will be acceptable. However, if you want to send this book to Australia, New Zealand, any other place around North America, these books will not have customs. Because the print on demand, they have enough print houses in different countries where if you stand there and you ask them to ship it to your hotel, you will get them to your hotel or to the organizer, which will cut significantly the cost. So I am from the school which said, you do self-publishing for your business books. One more thing we did not talk about is the book title. So if your book title will be how to sell cars, and you sell training program for salesmen to sell cars, and when you went to different locations, you find out that people who sell vans will use your content and they will achieve better results. Do you like to launch a book called The Art of Selling Cars or The Art of Selling Vans? Which one do you prefer now?
Both. You just publish both.
No, but if you are selling, if you are more effective with people who are selling vans against regular cars, why bother with the people who will not get value from yours, right? So coming up with the book title early on and start to push your program out, you will find that your program will change with the audience a little bit. You are doing change management, which is a very good topic because none of us here is aware of it. And you found that maybe 80% of your clients are not high-tech companies, are mainly oil and gas, or even mine industry. You find that 80% of your clients are mine industry. So you'd like to have your book as the art and the science of a change management, or the art and science of a change management for the mining industry. Which one will be more relevant to your audience?
Well, for the mine industry would be the one with mine industry.
How do you know this information before launching and selling your program?
Because I've been in the mine industry.
But how do you know? How do you know to resonate with these people? Without selling your program. You must sell your program first.
Yeah.
I do have a customer who is selling Finding Hope in churches. And she had a book which actually got her off the market because the book is not relevant to what she realized she can do. So in my understanding, when I start to market my book first and sell my program, what will happen? I will have a market affirmation that my book title and the topic is the best for what I do. And I can sell more programs. Otherwise, I wouldn't come with the concept 12 streams of income. That's right? Does it make sense? So we as Canadian, for any book to be published, you need an ISBN number. And we as Canadian, we have access to free ISBN numbers. In the US, you have to pay between $10 to $100 per number. But we as a Canadian, we have free access for that. And we also have access to create space with Amazon for free. And if you do these two things, you can basically launch your book on Kindle and in Amazon for free. And all what you need to pay, it will be around $67, include shipping, to deliver to your house 20 copies of your book. So you can have a video podcast or you can have a Facebook Live telling your people that you are excited today because you received this particular shipment. So please, when you get this box, don't open it till you talk to us. Because this is a ceremony we do online. And this ceremony will get you more followers and more people interested to know about your book than you believe. By just having the box open it publicly on social media, shows them the book, and then start to talk about the book for 5-10 minutes. So this is a way which we use right now. What requires here, you can design your book cover. Usually book cover will go from 500 to 5,000 if you take a professional illustrator for, and they give you one book cover. If you design your book cover with us, you will have all the extra material where you can use it on a different marketing material like pre-selling card, summary of the book, because we do it here, we own all the content. A publisher will charge $3,000 to $5,000. They will give you only the cover. They will not give you anything else. You understand what I'm talking about? Then, if you can do the content and you can read them, usually it costs between $1,500 to somewhere in the $25,000 for an editor to play with the content. Now I want to have a reviewer. Who are the reviewers for my book from this table? You can write the book, you can give it to Claudia to review it, and in exchange you can read his book, that's right? If you are guys getting the books around the same month, that's right? So if you have a group of people who can do this editing on your behalf, and Grammarly will help you as well, you don't need to pay this money for anybody. Does it make sense? So this is a formula how you can build a book for $67. Now every time you need to print, you can order them by 100 or whatever number, based on whatever venue you have. And you can have also on Amazon, you have an author page, which is connected to your page, to your website, and your program. So
you can drop ship it from Amazon to anywhere in the world?
Yep. And on Amazon, it will introduce you after 6 weeks to Barnes Nobles and all kind of big publishers, big distribution channel, because nowadays the distribution of books, they rely on Amazon because they don't need to keep stock. So my books are in Barnes Nobles and different weird places. I've never been there before. They pulled them out from Amazon. And also you'll be surprised that your book will be used. There is a used version of your book, or so you not sell anything. Because there are some people who will list your book as a used prices because they know they can get a discount code from Amazon. They get it for cheaper than the MRSP, and they like to make money if somebody will order it. So you'll find your books on eBay. You don't do anything. You let it. You put it out there, and people will help you spread the word. Does it make sense? Any questions?
You started this page with talking about book title.
Yes, I start this page with book title because we don't know what our best book title to sell our products. And your book title must be rational to your program. It's not a passion book. So change management in particular is a huge topic. And when you talk to us about the court, and you talk about small businesses, and you talk about food industry, you get us scared. Because each one on its own is a multi-billion-dollar market. So which one you are the best player in?
Construction.
It has to be one. Remember, everybody is what?
Ignorant.
Is I. Everybody is ignorant. So if you master the construction market and you make couple-digit millions in it, do you need to go anywhere else? Or even $1 million in it, do you need to go anywhere else? No.
Just the Bahamas.
That's right. So that's why when you start to push, so maybe if you go to construction and you say change management for construction company, and you find like builders, not construction, maybe architect, maybe somebody else in this particular segment are more interested, so you can say change management, the art maybe or science of change. Check this book title available, The Art of and Science of Change Management, a step-by-step system for architect or for constructions or for builders or for North American or for Alaskan builder or for Northwestern territories, because you are focused now on a specific region. This will give you domination in the region. Does this make sense?
It does.
Okay, so today we we make a discovery session on what all possible streams you can have of activities leading to money. Some activities you can do it for promoting others. And we conclude with the main topic, which is how you can position your book, your speaking page, your blog, to push forward your program. And right now we open it for questions. If you have questions, we can, all of us, share the answer for it. Or feedback. Let's call it feedback. So let's start from, so what's your feedback for today, Jen? Do you want me to help you with the feedback?
Yeah.
3 things. What did you know which this session make it realize that what you know is correct? Or it enforced what you know? What you didn't know and you discovered for the first time in this session? And what did you know and you found out is not relevant anymore and you will change? Does this make sense as a 3 points to share with the group?
Yeah, what's the first one?
What do you know and was affirmed or confirmed by the information we shared today? What you didn't know and you learned here for the first time. And the third one, what did you know and now you realize you have to change. It is not relevant anymore. If you can answer each one of these or even 1 or 2 of these, this will help the content, because you seen my perception. You've seen my models. I'm always eager to know what you guys have in your mind. So this will help me.
So, you said for the content, just to go through, summarize all your blogs.
You can. You can summarize all of your blogs, or you can build a structure and give it to somebody to fill it, or you can basically write the whole book if you like.
Oh.
These are different options. But all of these options will play in one thing. Writing a book is not a high barrier to jump on. Writing a book, it's a must for anybody launching an international or a national program, because everybody else having books.
Okay. I'll go with the blog writing. I mean, I could be scattered across bookkeeping to structuring to accounting, and so how does that play into my book? Shouldn't my book
So
be
if
more
you
of
so your book can have 3 different sections.
okay.
1 on bookkeeping, 1 on structuring,
Right.
and 1 on accounting.
Okay.
Or you can have 3 books,
Okay.
or 3 book series. That's right.
Yeah.
But when you plan and you execute, you shouldn't hold yourself because writing a book is too difficult. No, it's not. Okay?
Now I'm starting to overthink the book because now you said 3 books. Now I'm thinking of the chapters that have to go into those books.
There is actually exercises we do. I'm not. You have been here for the book exercise. There is actually, we have a workbook on the book production,
Oh.
where you go and type 10 chapters, and each chapter, it's a complete process. But I didn't want to have the process here. I want just to get you guys first to understand and realize, do you want to do this? If you want to do it, I can even give you the recording, because majority of you will have the audio recording from our sessions, and I can basically give you just the workbook.
Yeah.
And you can do a self-study on the online academy we have.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, Jane, the floor with you.
Uh,
And I just picked you because you are the one in the furthest distance from me. That's it.
I guess first couple of thoughts is the what did I learn in a firm? Discipline, commitment. All these things sound hard, so it doesn't need to be hard. We can still have fun while we're doing this, but maximizing, utilizing time. Time is the most precious commodity that we have, and it's really, I'm really reorganizing around how important time is and how I'll use it. Not to make myself feel guilty, not to if I use it or don't use it poorly, but the importance of that.
And just to make a comment here, if you remember when I defined profit margins, I didn't want to illustrate on this particular principle, because the profit margins is only rational to how many hours I will put toward a project,
Okay.
which emphasize what you said. But I don't want to be bluntly saying it because people will reject it. So I appreciate that you came up with this conclusion.
Yeah,
The
I
most
mean, it's
valuable
hard,
things.
It's work. You know, like you gotta. I mean, meaning the time matters and the quality in each hour. So sometimes I just sit at my computer and I'm easily distracted, or la da da, or the dog comes in, or so I'm also reconsidering my focus. I read a book. It was a yellow book. It was about a great author, and he talked about our ability to focus. Deep Work. Has anybody read that book, Deep Work? And an academic guy, author, but he just talked about the importance. None of us ever get in to deep work because we're drinking coffee and checking our phones and getting distracted. So deep work requires that we settle, and it's almost like deep work is where the zone is, and when you come out, you're like, whoa, where did that time go? What was I doing? Oh, but that's when we really give ourselves permission to go that deeply into our passion, our work, our commitment. So
Unfortunately, I can talk to you about experience of deep work because I can start at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I will find my spouse or my wife just wake up at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, and I didn't feel that I need to sleep. So this deep work is very critical and very bad because it can take you outside normal people, because normal people don't focus like that. But for me, I can say, you know what, I have the kettle, I will get my mint in or my tea or whatever coffee, and I will have it bubbled, it stopped, and I know I have to go there. And by the time I go to the water boiler, I found the water is cold because there's like 3-4 hours went by, and this is where I got like numbing in my feet sometime because I will be sitting, I know I want to adjust, but I want to finish this. And so this deep work is very valuable is a part of the creativity. And that's why I always say my creativity time is between 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning.
well, that's,
But I agree with you.
that's another.
Yeah.
But I think that the only other thing that I'll say, and then I'll let everybody else, but is what I really, what I didn't know and what was affirmed today was that everything that I do is really organized around this line. So at the end of each day, I need to ask myself, what did I do today that brought me closer to this line, my program, what's important, my big ticket item, however you want to call it. And there's so many things to do, so there is a prioritization for me because a lot of them I'm not doing. But I'm not going to get overwhelmed by that. It's one day at a time, and it's like I need to start building a different fitness program in my business. And I've been lazy, and I'm okay to say that. I'm not like, oh, bad Jane, but I'm ready now to commit to a different level. And being a past athlete, athletes know that there is a commitment and discipline that's required, and it is there that you get results. And I'm a believer, if I'm in my comfort zone, I'm not getting better. If I can push out and just go, I'm going to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I'm not even going to question it. I'm just going to play uncomfortable for the next 3 to 6 months. And I'm going to actually take time off where I'm not in the business and I'm walking the dog or doing things that I'm not under pressure, but I'm going to embrace pressure in a different way, and that's the truth.
I love it.
And then lastly, what I'm going to stop doing is I'm really going to consider not judging, shifting my mindset to not knowing. I have control issues. I need to know. I need to know the next step. I need to, so just to trust, I've committed to working around these tables. I've committed to a different playground. I see new people in my playground. Trusting that everybody's here for a reason. I believe that we're all here to support one another. I don't believe in competition. I know there's such thing, but I believe there's enough to go around, and I need to believe that and play with whoever's here. Because if a competitor of mine, which I don't believe in such a thing, asks my help for something, I totally help them.
Yep.
Totally help them. I don't care if we're all doing this. I don't care if this room's full of coaches. I'm not competing with anybody here. I'm trying to be my best and to bring my best message to the people who I'm supposed to serve. I'm not supposed to serve who Shamir serves. I'm not supposed to serve who Mariana serves. We're all here. There's not enough light workers for all the people that need help.
So just a comment on the comfort zone. When you be uncomfort for some time, you will shift your perception that you will feel comfort with the uncomfort, which means you will go back to a steady state of being comfort by doing the formerly uncomfort you. It's a big philosophical view, but it works. Do you wanna share?
Sure. I enjoyed the day tremendously. I know my product very profoundly and extensively. What I don't know is how to promote myself and how to create my business. I am at the ignorance line, and being here today just makes that more of a reality for me. And I believe that the universe connects the dots. And I ask, who can help me? And I end up sitting here today. So it's not by accident. It's just meant to be. And thank you.
Welcome. More than welcome. And as I said, you can come on Saturdays, and if you want to have more engagement with us, you are more than happy.
I plan to
help
because
you.
I need that kind of education.
Okay. Any feedbacks from Mike? What or what do you like the most, or like you just basically?
Well, I mean, what it does is it shows me how right now I'm just playing real small. I'm really playing small with all of the 12 incomes. Yeah, I mean, there's so much more I could be doing just to create my presence, and I mean, I'm not even really leveraging my book the way I could be. I mean, I wrote it for a reason. I just haven't really used it to the.
And on your book in particular, because I have some material like that, which when they come and put me on the cover, like I was on the cover of the Migrant magazine,
Yep.
I had only 2 pages in the Arabic version and 2 pages in the English version.
Yep.
So I created an insert of the magazine. So I have an article which has the cover magazine and only what I have.
Yeah.
So maybe for your book, when you have multi-authors, you may want to get the cover and trim only your chapter. So this will be your insert to give it out to people, which only promotes you,
Yeah.
not promotes there are so many ways you can do, but really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and just the other part, like, stepping up, writing blogs and blog ideas and that kind of stuff, and how to pull it out. And then, of course, I sometimes, like Jade said, I overthink things, and I'm worried about, okay, what's the technical tools I'm going to use to strip that and get it into a presentation. But I mean, there's enough people around here, like you said, that when that time comes, just ask.
Yeah.
So,
And as I said, we have lots of available resources for you. So we have lots of images and royalty-free images, royalty-free audios, royalty-free videos for you guys as part of your being this program. If you need them, just come and we have now more computers available, so we can just open the accounts for you guys and you can pick up wherever you like. And sometimes we say you can go to this website and just, if you like it, let us know the names and we will produce for you the unwatermarked version of it. So you don't need even to spend any money in just repurchasing, because we license these technologies from people on a reseller agreement. So we can resell them, but we offer them for free with people in our program. So, you good? Shamir, you wanna kick in?
Yeah, I just further reinforced this thing for me, and I need to get that website completed, and I need to start working on the outline of not outline, but just the media package and the book and all that. So
we'll be here Sunday?
what's Sunday?
We'll come work here on Sundays on the website. So are we coming here Sunday?
Is that what you're doing on Sunday?
We can talk. Okay. Jacqueline, what do you?
I have a fairly closed mind, I've realized, and
Really?
No, you just need more time to understand. Don't say that. You just need a little bit of
but
time.
I recognize I do, and so I love that this opens my mind to possibility, and I watch myself get overwhelmed, and then I sit here, and then it just keeps going. Like the group keeps it moving, and then I kind of grasp and go, okay, I don't need to be overwhelmed. I can try these 3 things. So it's really brought me to a place of, you know, I guess what I've realized in just being in the sessions a couple times is Jane and I had no idea what we were doing. And we stepped into this world, we were gonna open a business and we got this website and we didn't have a clue. And we listened to the wrong people. And so it's kind of like a rebirth and we're gonna do it right this time.
Happy to hear that. Maya.
I loved it. It's so affirming, and I knew already the book itself wouldn't bring. It wasn't important. It wasn't the money maker, but what it can do for me and my business is amazing. So that was really affirming, and you know, to just get structure in it, you know, can create a plan from this is awesome. Yeah.
And as I said, if you wanna get more, there is a complete video course on books on the online website, and there is a workbook which I can, if you want, I can give it. In the future, we'll have all these workbooks as PDF, but we are right now in the model of ISBN numbers for each book and rebranding. So even for you guys, whoever have this workbook, right now this workbook has more copyright materials there. So that's why it was a little bit late. So I'm also working on, tried out few things early on, keep doing it for 6 times or so, and now we have a better view of what we have. Is there anything you didn't like about today, other than being long, not have enough breaks and stuff like that? Please, if you find anything you don't like about this program, let us know, and we send a monthly.
Post it on Facebook what I didn't like.
Okay. And we send a monthly, for people in the program, we send a monthly evaluation form, which basically is satisfied, not neutral, wherever it is. And just goes to another guy who makes sure everything is fine. If you said I'm not happy, you'll get a phone call. If you are satisfied or neutral, we assume it's okay. Yeah. Anyway.
How do you make your money? I know these are free sessions, and free sessions are wonderful.
Whatever session you are hearing, sir, is not for free. You are the only one who came.
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.